If there was one word that describes life, it's compromise. No matter who you are or what goals you have, life rarely turns out the way you plan. It pushes back, forces choices, and makes you question whether you've actually mattered or what you've done mattered. Watching It's a Wonderful Life put in perspective to who I am and what I do and the people around me. I wanted to watch an old movie and started scrolling through a random website going through multiple pages until I came across the poster for It's a Wonderful Life. I had no idea what the film was or what it was about. All I knew was that Christmas was somehow tied into it. I went into the film purely to make this video, fully expecting to cringe or not understanding the appeal. But I was genuinely taken aback by how wonderful it is. And with that, It's a Wonderful Life is a 1946 Christmas film directed and produced by Frank Capra, and the screenplay was written by Francis Goodrich and Albert Hackett. It is based on the short story The Greatest Gift, written by Philip Van Doren Stern. The film stars James Stewart as George Bailey, a man who has spent his life putting others first while his own dreams slowly slip away. Set in a fictional town, the film explores love, responsibility, and the unseen impact one person can have on an entire community. As doubts and pressures begin to weigh on him, George is forced to confront what his life truly means. James Stewart's performance as George is fantastic, and George is such a wonderful character who I throughout the film was rooting for. He's courteous and kind and wants best for everyone. He's also flawed. He goes through real moments of anger, doubt, happiness, and jealousy. Through it all, we see what a man in desperation and hopelessness looks like. He once had dreams he dreamt of, but life pushed him aside, leaving him a life full of compromise, unable to fully appreciate what he has or who he is. But George is the glue that holds everyone together. He is the foundation to everything, and it will be a disservice to not talk about his co-actor Donna Reed as Mary Hatch. What a wonderful actress. There's a lot of media where I can't stand the love interest or the romance plot, as they always leave me feeling like it's artificial and half-baked. But seeing these two characters together made my heart ache. The vibe these two brought was warmth and happiness, and you could feel the vibrance of love pouring out of these two. I especially love how gentle and open they are, but most important of all is how they both lift each other up when the spirit is down. And what I love about Mary is that she sees George for who he truly is and supports him throughout, measuring his self-worth rather than for his status. And I can't help but gleefully when I say this is probably my favorite romance in a very, very long time. I love romances, but I find them so hard. When watching movies, shows, or playing games, or reading books, a lot of the times they always feel half-baked. But this is in a very long time where I can say it made me extremely happy. And as the movie goes, there is one particular bad guy. The slimy dirtbag Henry F. Potter, played by Leon Barrymore. I don't want to say much, but what a performance. Anytime he was on screen, he made me disgusted, because not only was he the bad guy, but he played a true-to-life executive that only cares about the money and the results and not for the backbreaking labor that takes account into the human sacrifice that people have to make. The scene when George rants about how people need to live riddles me with how accurate and sincere it is, and with how times have not changed.
What'd you say just a minute ago? They had to wait and save their money before they even thought of a decent home? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
And as for the overall plot, I was blown away with how charming this movie is, by how true to life this movie is, and just how timeless it is. There is maybe one thing in the whole plot that I disagree with, but besides that, I think this is almost a flawless movie. It shows a lot of compassion, love, and warmth, and those are some of the best aspects you would want out of a movie. This movie is so much about family and how you hold it together. For without it, what else do you have? I kept thinking to myself, I know where this is gonna go, especially during the time period. I feel like this would have been a really easy movie to predict, but I'm wrong. I'm so wrong. I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I really want anyone who hasn't seen this movie to watch it. But if anyone has seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, which is pretty funny considering how old it is. Anyway, all the performances were fantastic. So much character and emotion are told throughout, even without a spoken word of dialogue. There's a scene where George and Mary are together and you can see the heartbreak and anger and confusion the two actors brought about from each other. And the mannerisms and gentleness of the characters could have been rough for the period, but George, however, never truly harms anyone and consistently treats others with consideration and respect. He does have moments of frustration, but even then his outbursts feel justified. If you haven't seen this movie, please watch it. Anyways, I had a chance to watch this in color, but opted out to as I wanted to view it with the way the people at the time had, but also to challenge myself as I don't watch a lot of black and white movies. I thought it would lose a lot of detail, but instead here it adds a lot of the intensity and vibrancy to the world. While I can't make out how everything looks, it leaves the imagination to make it seem more harsh or more lively than it has any right to be. But also there are scenes that are dark where the shadows tell a story, and I don't know if that could be translated when in color. That said, I did take a look at the color version after having finished this film, and in my opinion, it's fine. There's no reason why you couldn't enjoy it. It's not like the story or dialogue has changed. That said, I did come in expecting some of the dialogue to feel dated, but I never once felt like it pulled me out of the immersion. Instead, the entire film, from his dialogue to his storytelling to editing, acting, music, is all timeless. And I honestly cannot wait to share this with my friends and family, since without any of them have seen this. With that, I'll leave it there. If you have seen this film, please let me know what you think. If you know any facts or trivia, that'd be pretty cool. Alright, take care and see ya. I guess you can subscribe. I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. Alright, take care.